I think that was crucial what you said is like going to get some liquor, going to meet somebody else, because as a man, those things are safer. If I touch those feelings, how this may snowball and where it
Yeah.
may go, it's unsafe because trust. And for
Yeah.
us, trust is
Yeah.
so huge. And a lot of women don't understand how trust is big for men. People wonder like why a barbershop is, people always say, oh man, the barbershop talk, because you can, it's a place of conversation that you could talk freely, and you, it's no fear of repercussion of your words and hearing it somewhere else. So men feel like, ooh, I can let it hang out in different places as
Right.
well. So when you have those avenues for men to have these places to discuss that are safe, then you get a little more banter of like, oh, I'm not the only one dealing with this with my wife or with my kids. And it's like,
Right.
ooh, it's a breath of fresh air. But the number of places that we have are just so limited, and the repercussions are so large for us. You feel like, I'd rather be safe. On a date, I'm not about to discuss this, because if
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather not express enough, and then you like, oh, he's not open, than to express too much, and then you seem weak. You feel, you look like a
Yeah.
simp. You're too, he emotional. See, like a guy who shows emotion, it's real slippery slope before
Yeah.
you're in tune to emotional. There's no, so that's why early when you was stating about that, I said it's an invisible line. So these invisible lines, you don't know, and every gauge is different. It's kind of like a B, and C, but everybody grading scale is different.
Mm.
So where that safe place for a male is, you a lot of time is kept in, because I know
Yeah.
here is safe, and
Yep.
if I'm not going to, until I find that right place, then I let it out. But
Right.
what happens a lot of times, that's when we say displays emotion, that sometimes what happened, it balls up. And then when it does outburst, is the little thing with the straw that broke the camel's back type saying,
Yeah.
that man, that it was all let out at one time. Like, oh man, now you're angry. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
like, nah, it wasn't just this. It was the accumulations of circumstances. Oh man, the work here, kids here, wife here, this there, and it's like, and you've never just expressed it, so you never had a place to kind of release it. And I learned that it really in the Marine Corps, because it was a place that it was, you saw what you saw, but you never talk about the things you
Yep.
saw. So we all saw it, but we're not going to express that we saw it
Mm.
by not speaking on it. And many times these is like, okay, because if we ignore it, it's gone
Yeah.
away. We don't have
Mm.
to express that type of place. So, and when you suppress and you get taught how to suppress and not to identify feelings, then you start expressing your film at the wrong time, uncontrollable. Now you have these impulsive men that you're like, oh man, what's wrong with him?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't just the one last event. If we taught him how to express him at the
Yes.
beginning, the last one would have never happened.
Right.
But and what happens for us, we have to go to in a trial and error, and we mess up, and we realize the girl don't make you feel bad. You realize the liquor don't make you feel no better. You realize the club, and then you realize like, oh, what is going on, and now how do I maintain this? And
Yeah.
my grandfather had a saying. He would never let me in the house. He was like, how you feeling? I would always say, how you doing today? And he was like, I say feeling fine. And he was like, boy, if you live by your feelings, you'll be a lost soul. And today
Mm.
I understand why living by your feelings is a lost soul, because your feelings will change every day.
Yeah.
And if you don't allow the feelings of your life to dictate the moves, you have more control of what you're doing day by day, moment by moment, and
Right.
realize feelings are temporarily.
Yeah. And the thing is though, like he probably said it in a good way, but the thing is about teaching people is like it doesn't have to control you. It
Hmm.
doesn't have to, but you do have to be aware of it and you do
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
address it. You do have to talk about it. You do have to express it. Because other than if you don't do any of those things, like you said, the last straw that breaks the camel back, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my god!" And then you're
How
gonna
did
end
we
up
get
saying,
here?
"I normally don't do this. This normally doesn't happen. This is, I
Mm-hmm.
promise you, it won't
Uh,
happen again." But you done
yeah.
said too much. You done did too
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
You done crossed some lines you shouldn't have been crossing. But that's
Mhm,
because finally something popped off in you, and
mhm,
now rather than you expressing yourself, because like you said, emotions do change. They go from a day to day. But if you're not
Moment by moment, not even
mhm,
days.
second by second, all of that. So
mhm.
if you're not in tune to that, if you're not even trying to address it and speak on it, and even say, "Why am I feeling this way?"
Yeah.
or talk to somebody about why you feeling this way, it's only gonna make it a problem for you, because you can't avoid, like we're talking about, like when I hear, "Oh, if you go by your feelings, then you're gonna be lost forever," but then it's like, in my mind, because this is what we're taught as men, don't address it, keep it to the past, don't even talk about
Mhm,
it. But it's supposed to be like, don't let your feelings control you.
mhm,
Understand them. Ask
mhm.
yourself why you feeling this way. Talk about it and address it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speak on it. Don't
Mhm,
stay there. Just
mhm.
speak on it.
Speak on.
And you know what I'm saying? And then keep it moving. Don't linger in that spot.
Yeah.
But give it the attention it needs for that
Yeah.
time frame. For that, whatever, if it happened right then and there, don't be like, okay, cool, wait, no. Because the one thing we know we don't like is when somebody, especially us in relationships with women, where it's like, well, last week, no, wait, what? Listen, listen. What you're not gonna do is
To
talk
bring
to
it
me
back
about something that was on your chest last week
last.
when you could have said something last week. It's a whole new week. We're not living in the past. If it bothered you then, you should have said something then. Now you did. Well, I didn't feel well. Hey, listen. You can't put the glass of milk. You can't put the milk back in the cup once it's done
Yeah.
spilled over. So hey, you done lost your chance. Keep it moving. No, but it ain't even like that either. But it's the same thing. We can't be like, okay, cool. Now, if you need that moment to basically be like, let me process my feelings. I don't want to say something out of
Mm,
pocket. I don't want to go
Mhm.
off. I don't want to go off in a deep end. I don't want to hit nothing. I don't want to break nothing, because all that costs money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let me just, all
The
right, give me
super
about 30
chats.
minutes. Give me a day. Give me a day. Let me just express myself. But
Mhm.
before anything, we gotta address that, because that is a thing where it's affecting us. I saw something on TikTok or Facebook or whatever, or something like that. People be saying that, and there's like, this is the reason why there's a lot of black men or a lot of men in nursing homes, because nobody wants to take care of their asses, because
mm,
they're they've been, what I'm saying, they're just a hot mess. They do wrong, they do this, that, and the third. And it's a representation of us not expressing ourselves. It's a
mm,
representation of us not basically being able to say, hey, to my kids, hey, I feel this type of way. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you guys are neglecting, you guys are taking advantage. Or saying to my girl, hey, I feel this type of way when you do this and you say this. Oh, well, you're supposed to take it. You're a man. Nah, you supposed
Mhm.
you supposed to be barefoot and pregnant, but I'd be wrong if I said that though.
Yeah. Yeah. Or
You
in
know
the
what I mean?
kitchen. See, yeah, those.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a whole bunch of different things, and you gotta pretty much like address those issues and everything. You know what I mean? Hey, Cody, can you hear us?
Hey, sorry for the late. Was having some technical difficulties.
It's okay. We were having some technical. It's okay. We were getting ours in earlier too, and tell you, we were talking about the Russians, how they were setting us all up. Yeah, I mean,
uh,
so you're on the show with us with Jordan and Gerard. You know what I mean, guys, this is Cody, Jordan, Gerard.
Cody.
You know what I mean?
And we were
Hello,
just
everyone.
talking about why you think societal expectations are that men be strong and stoic in the face of trauma and adversity. Did you have any input on that? How that impacts the healing process?
Yes, it. Well, I was just having this conversation earlier, probably about an hour ago with somebody, um, because we were always taught growing up that we had to be strong and not cry.
Mhm.
Um, and you always heard tell they boys crying for it. Like stop crying, or they called us a punk because we cried. So we
Mhm.
Mm,
learned how to hold our emotions and
yeah.
to express those feelings as
Yeah.
kids growing up. So as a man, it's just behavior that we continue to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong with a man crying. You're more of a man letting your feelings out and holding it in, because if I hold my emotions and feelings in, I'm gonna end up that
Oh.
because it's gonna build up. So as men, we have to let those. Sometimes we just have to talk to. Sometimes it might be a
Mm-hmm.
friend of yours, or it might be your significant other. But or you might need to talk to a therapist just to get those
Mm-hmm.
emotions out and be able to communicate those emotions to someone.
Right.